nor sure how to proceed with a new employee that spouts QAnon theories all day. I'm a newly hired employee whose old position has been replaced by a contractor. This new employee is a QAnon believer who spouts nonsense all day. His first day, he told me hurricanes are man-made. I had 2 houses destroyed by hurricanes when I lived in Florida for a decade. Second week, he tells me that Pizzagate is real and Hillary Clinton is head of a pedophile ring. Third week, he says Trump is still president. 3 weeks and the guy has taken minimal notes on how to perform the job. My boss asks me how it is going and I told him I am going to reserve judgment on the new employee. Going on week 4. If this mentions that the Holocaust is fake, I feel I am not going to be able to control myself and will get violent as my entire bloodline was wiped out. Should I tell the manager he is not working out BC the QAnon stuff? Should I tell the guy to can the QAnon stuff or he will lose his job? He will probably say he lost his job BC of a Jew. Should I just wait for him by his car and beat him to a bloody pulp? My 2 cents is say the guy talks too much and hasn't tried to learn the job. If that's what minimal notes on how to perform means, then it's not about political differences of opinion but about job performance. QAnon, conspiracy stuff equals obvious lack of critical thinking skills. That's the point to make with the company. They pay people for their skills and ability to learn new ones to further the company's goals. These commentaries demonstrate those key attributes are scarce or absent, making the employee a liability not an asset. Just say he is making a hostile work environment, which he is. You are in a good position to say that since you have been there longer. I had to deal with anti-vaxxers talking about how the pandemic is a liberal hoax, while my aunt was actively dying of COVID in the hospital with no visitors allowed. But unfortunately, I was the new person still on temp at that time, and one of the people causing the hostile environment was my lead person. You have infinitely more leverage than I did. As several others have pointed out, don't even bring up the value problem with the political beliefs. Leave it at, he's spending a lot of time talking about personal politics and he's not learning the job. The minute you make it about what he thinks, then it gets sticky, and you never know, you might wind up having your manager explain to you that the earth is flat and China mind controls teens through TikTok. Keep it focused on the fact that he's not doing the job. Have boss show him the door. There's no place for dangerous stupid. Stupid is one thing, but this crosses the line. Sounds disruptive. I would tell the boss he's distracting and disruptive with this non-work related nonsense. Saint Fu and do the job. Punching Nazis has, historically, proven effective. Not your job to save him nor to confront him aside from it being possibly dangerous. He cannot focus on his job nor remember what he has been taught. That is what you should report. I wonder who hired him. This is what you should be careful of. I doubt he kept his idiotic theories to himself during the interview. If he denies the Holocaust, you firing him isn't going to change his mind about Jews. Nor should you care. People like this should get pushed to the fringe and remain unemployed. Fire his dumbass. Lol. The best interview question I ever had was, have you ever punched a coworker? Quote, I laughed, and they said they were serious. I said no, and that I couldn't imagine what would facilitate that. After I ended up taking that job, they told me I was replacing the guy who punched one of my new coworkers. Turns out the guy the first replaced was unstable, and my new coworkers were fine. But your conundrum there finally gives me a reason to understand wanting to punch a coworker. I'd just be honest with the boss and opine that such off-the-wall thinking seems likely to lead to Unfortunate consequences you can't even anticipate. Let the company deal with it. Leave QAnon out of it. He is spending a lot of time talking about things that are not work-related. He seems more interested in those things than in his work. Some of what he talks about is not appropriate workplace conversation, such as bringing up pedophiles. He does not appear to be paying attention to his work responsibilities. Why did you pass up the opportunity to discuss your misgivings with your boss when they gave you the opportunity to do so? Go back to them now. Don't wait. Lay out your concerns about the new employee's inability to separate divisive politics from the workplace. Include that they haven't seemed to take in learning the position seriously. It's always easier to fool a man than to convince a man he's been fooled. Mark Twain. I think you need to involve HR. He's dangerous to everybody in the company. I would just tell the boss this guy is more concerned with conspiracy than his job and is creating a hostile workplace. It sounds like he's also just not good at his job. So maybe you can work that angle with the boss. You shouldn't feel like you need to work with an anti-Semite. I was in a similar position once and I talked to HR about it and they said we can do conflict mediation, and she ended up quitting anyway because she refused to do a drug test, so there you go. It doesn't sound like the problem is his beliefs per se, but the fact that he's randomly talking about this stuff instead of doing his work. I would focus on that instead of focusing on how his opinions make you feel personally. I would not bring up the intricacies of his views, as you never know the views of other people in the company. But explain everything related to it. He's easily distracted. Goes off on tangents about politics when he should be working. Seems more focused on chatting than on learning and becoming good at the job, etc. That he just doesn't seem like a good fit because the job doesn't seem to be a priority to him. I had to train a guy like this. No matter what the subject, he had to spout his conspiracy nonsense. Luckily, COVID spiked and they reinstituted our mask mandate. He quit immediately. Obviously a nutjob who isn't going to change from a employee counseling session. Just cut your losses and let him go work for the pillow wackadoo. Good luck. He needs to be fired. Torpedo this guy. Perhaps someday he will get his head out of his ass.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.